And I'm going to bring Jason up now, and he's from Alberta Fossil Family, and he's going to do an awesome presentation up here for us, and something that he loves.
Thank you.
Thanks very much.
So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to uncover this, and then I'm going to just take a couple seconds here and set up the computer. And then we're going to go over ammonite to ammolite. We're going to go over production. We're going to go over ammonite and ammolite innovations. We're also going to look at mining ammonite and ammolite in Alberta. And then we're also going to look at fossil hunting, so ammonite hunting. And so one thing I promise you all is that each and every one of you, after tonight's presentation, you will each know exactly where to find ammonites in Alberta. This is something that we give away at Alberta Fossil Family. And then finally, we're going to end the presentation with a few closing remarks. And I want to talk to you about the future of Ammolite. I'm going to uncover everything, and then we're going to get going, so hang tight. And at the end of the presentation, you guys, everyone is more than welcome to come up to the booth and check out every single piece of ammonite or ammolite that is up here. I'm recording this, and I'm going to post it on our YouTube channel. The biggest issue with ammolite is not a lot of people have heard of it. And so the more information that us Albertans get out about this amazing gemstone, the better. So we are filming this tonight. So we'll have questions, we'll have everything towards the end as well. So please take pictures. Okay, great. It works. I'd like to thank the AFRC and the Calgary Rock Club for inviting me to come up and talk about something that is so near and dear to my family's heart and all of Alberta. This is ammolite. This is our provincial gemstone of our province. And so let's talk about ammonite itself. So ammonite itself is an ancient squid or cephalopod. They used to swim around the earth 65 million to approximately 300 million years ago. And that number itself is up for argument. Some say it's a little bit before. Some say that ammonites only have a 200 million year life on planet Earth. But as us as fossil hunters and people outside looking for fossils, we're the ones that change history by finding new pieces on a daily basis. And so those levels of years are up for interpretation. Ammonite itself the squid itself is actually found around the world. Ammonites have a worldwide fossil footprint, and what that means to us is every country on the planet has ammonites in it. And so we might not think it's unique to Alberta, but it really is unique to Alberta. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of species of ammonites around the world. They are one of the most successful organisms on planet Earth. It is something that is often overlooked, but often celebrated in cultures across the world. Every ammonite is different, just like us. We're all unique. We're all unique individual animals ourselves. That applies to ammonites. Every single ammonite that you see will be different. And when we get into the production of it, you're going to see even further that when you take a small piece of ammonite and you take a little piece, you cut it out, you create a new design that no one has ever seen before. Every single piece of ammolite that you come across literally is a one-of-a-kind piece. Now I really want to stress that ammolite and ammonite is that unique that it's rarer than diamonds. Rarer than diamonds. And yet, most people have never heard of it. We do markets all over Alberta, and most people will come up to our market booth space, and that is the first time that they've ever seen ammolite before. That's a huge problem. That's why we want you to join Alberta rock clubs. There are so many experts. There's thousands of years in these rock clubs. You should join these rock clubs. And I'm talking to you at home. That's who I'm talking to. You should join this. You should join any rock club in Alberta. More importantly, ammonites, besides the worldwide fossil footprint, they are here as well. And so why are our ammonites different than any other ammonite? I wish I could say something supernatural, I really do. But it is the minerals in our soil that makes our ammonites unique. And so that chemical soil composition that's found in Alberta is not found anywhere else in the world. Now think about that. And so there is ammonites all over the world. They have no color. Color developed on ammonites in Alberta and nowhere else in the world. It is our provincial gemstone of our province because we recognize that Alberta holds a special place in the world with Ammolite. And I'm really hoping to appeal to the people in this room because we are the experts. And so we need to go out and we need to teach this to younger generations. And we're certainly going to talk about that. Now, as a provincial gemstone of our province, we have to get it out. Now, how do we do that? And so you have the animal and then you have Ammolite. The difference between the two is quite simple. One is the animal is Ammonite. The other is Ammolite, and that's when you actually are producing it and making it into something. So these chunks up here are Ammonite fossil chunks. These are full Ammonite fossils. That's an art piece. And then this is jewelry. So this is a gemstone. So this is Ammolite. So this is us taking that piece, producing it, and creating a gemstone to wear. Once the ammonite is created into Ammolite, it's the resin and the stabilization that actually makes that gemstone a gemstone. That is the biggest difference between the two. People often mistake it, but again, it doesn't matter. As long as you have ammonite, as long as you found ammonite, it doesn't matter. If you think of that journey that ammonite took, millions of years swimming around the world, and it finally died in the Western Interior Seaway over Alberta. And as that seaway receded, it trapped tens of millions of ammonites here in our own province. What a huge resource for us to pull from as Albertans. That we own this gemstone. Not only do we own this gemstone, we're actually allowed to hunt it. And I really want to make that clear is that we are actually allowed to hunt it. Rules state in Alberta, and they've changed. And I know that there's been a lot of mystery and there's been a lot of I feel negativity in surrounding the fact that we are not encouraged to go out and find our own provincial gemstone. To make it clear, the Royal Tyrrell Museum, they own all the fossils in Alberta, every single one of them. Ammonite has been declassified as something that we're allowed to actually pick, and you are allowed to go into provincial parks in Alberta. You're not allowed to dig, but you are allowed to surface collect. That is what we're here to do. So when we go into that provincial park, you don't have a shovel, you have your rock hammer, and you're able to actually go in there and you're actually able to pick up surface pieces. And if you think of that journey that ammonite took, it swam around the earth, it got killed, eaten, buried, fossilized, pressurized, burnt, and then flattened, and you lived your life. You did what you needed to do, and you both met. That itself is unique. There's no other province that you can do that except for Alberta. And I really want to translate that to you guys. Moving forward, looking at ammonite versus ammolite, you know the animal versus the gemstone. And so now we're going to move forward to a little bit of production. So how do we make ammonite into ammolite? A series of equipment. We're talking lapidary equipment, which we all know in this audience. You don't need a whole bunch of stuff to actually work with ammonite. You need a lapidary, you need a lap, you need a 180-degree wheel, you need an arbor, you need grit and determination, and a will to destroy minerals. Because the only way that you're going to get good at something is to love it and set it free by destroying it. And so we're going to show a quick video to look at a baby ammonite fossil.
What's up, fossil friends? It's Fossil Dad, and Graham and I are busy in the shop, but we had to stop to show you this amazing baby ammonite. Now, this ammonite is completely surrounded by the original ammonite shell, perfectly preserved and raised, so it's all deteriorated, surrounded by gemstone. Now, going in closer, you can see this amazing color spread, super covered in shale, and again, when you remove that shale, then you can see the amazing color designs that come out of blue zone ammonite. Now, there's still lots to be done. The baby needs to be fully realized. Now, using polysynthetic dental discs with a Dremel, nice and soft, you can actually clean the whole entire animal, and look at the final product. You know, absolutely one of a kind. Like, share, subscribe. We'll see you soon.
That's just an example of one of the fossils that we work on. We'll show one more. This is a full, complete rainbow ammonite fossil.
What's up, Fossil friends? It's Fossil Dad, and Graham and I are super busy in full production mode, but we wanted to show you this amazing blue zone ammonite fossil. Now, this is completely covered in hard rock shale. We've exposed it a little bit. You can see the basic shape of the animal. You know, look at this amazing purple. Now, put a little bit of water on that, and now using a Dremel, we started.
Pink and purple are the rarest colors in ammonite. Then you have blue, you have green, you have orange, yellow, and then your base color is going to be red.
That fossil taking shape. Look at the amazing color right below. Now we're going to scrub this. Look how amazing the sheet material that comes out of blue zone ammonite fossils. Now we're going to Dremel it down. Extremely careful. Now look at the amazing final product. Oh, this unbelievable purple to blue to green to orange transition. This is a rainbow fossil. You know what? Like, share, subscribe. Let's have some fun. We'll see you soon.
Now, the other thing that I wanted to talk about is the visual art aspect. And so, Ammolite itself is extremely thin. And I really like how Brian explained it earlier, is a whole bunch of potato chips stacked on top of each other. And that's what aragonite is. So the mineral itself, aragonite, that is what ammolite is. That mineral, over millions and millions of years, formed molecule by molecule by actually leaching into the actual concretion itself and attaching and changing the outer shell of this creature into aragonite. And so that's what we're looking at. Now, what you can do with ammolite, there's many things that you could do with ammolite. Jewelry. You can inlay. You can inset it into anything you want. You can have art pieces, so chunks, full fossils, of course, but you can also do visual art. And that's not something that a lot of people do, but I, myself and my family, our goal is to teach you about ammolite. We give away that information because we want you to get involved. We want to show you something you've never seen before, whether it's our jewelry creator kits. Alberta Fossil Family is the first company in the world to actually produce a kit where you learn how to make your own ammolite jewelry from the ingredients in the box. And so this is putting it in your hands that you are actually able to make your own ammolite jewelry. You get to work with it, you get to scrub it, you get to clean it, you get to resin it, and you get to set it. That's one example of innovation. The other example is what Fossil Mom has done. And I'm Fossil Dad, and Fossil Mom, I wouldn't be here without Fossil Mom and my 4 fossil kids. We hunt as a family. We also create as a family, and I'm going to show you something that Fossil Mom made that is ammolite visual art.
Okay, what's up, fossil friends? It's Fossil Dad, and we are here to introduce something brand new, never seen before. This is Dramagon, and I want to introduce you to the creator of ammolite visual art. And this is Fossil Mom, and this is Dramagon. Okay, so many hours into it, what did you do first? Did you put the ammolite, or did you put the drawing?
Every single shard you see there, that is all ammolite.
Well, I made the dragon's body first with all the pieces. This took the longest, and then trying to puzzle them up. And
Hundreds of hours. And so Fossil Mom actually pieced together every piece, and she laid it out and measured it, fitted it before she adhered it to her ancient dragon.
Okay, so one of the neatest things about ammolite is its ability to refract light and again get those colors. So you're looking at Dramagon's magical orb. Now watch. As we move the light, you can actually see it. It's like it's moving, it's flashing. So watch this. These incredible visual art presentations made with ammolite can absolutely create magical colors. Look at this. And so with the right lighting, your ammolite visual art piece is actually moving right on your wall. Look at this, look at this. The million-dollar question. How many pieces? What about you? What do you think?
I didn't tell the fossil kids how many pieces I used. I wanted them to guess how many pieces Fossil Mom used.
1,878, okay. With contestant number 2, okay. We got Goldilocks Gabby here. So we're gonna take a look, dude, and you tell me how many Ammolite pieces did Fossil Mom use to complete Dramagon? 1,200, okay. And so we have to contestant number 3. Okay, so what do we got? 3,000. Oh, I like it. I like it. Okay, viewers, here's your chance. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you guys want to know the answer? Yeah. Okay, well, you got a crowd in there. You got a crowd in there. And the person who got the prize, who was most closest, was contestant number 2. There are just over 1,200 pieces.
And he really guessed it. He actually really guessed it as well, too. I didn't tell him, I didn't say a thing.
Okay, guys, thanks so much for watching our amazing Ammonite video. Please like, share, subscribe. Help us get this out there. You know, goodbye. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, guys.
Like and subscribe.
And so we wanted to do something unique because a ripple effect of Ammonite, working with Ammolite, is sometimes that your Ammolite will shard apart. And how do you stop that from happening? Well, you need to stabilize it. And there's various methods you can do. You can use pressure. We use up to 170 PSI, tank, vacuum, and we put all of that Ammolite in a solution called Epotech. And what Epotech does is you take that pressure and that vacuum, you take pressure and you push that material through the cracks of your aragonite. And what that does is after it dries, that gives you a hardened product. From there, you can cut, you can shape, you can calibrate, you can do whatever you want with it. But you need to stabilize Ammolite. And like I say, if you don't, it shards apart. So then what do? Don't waste it. Literally, there are so many things that you can do with Ammolite besides the idea of visual art. And it's going to be artists that are going to do it. And Ammolite, you're going to hear me say this a lot, Ammolite is an artist-driven stone. And so when we're talking about Ammolite, there's no rules. There's no rules. There are guidelines. So again, comparing it to diamonds, there are actual guidelines on how to grade a diamond, how to measure its cut clarity, etc., etc. With Ammolite, yes, there is a grading system, but not everyone uses it. And there is no definitive book that exists right now that tells you how to do and work with Ammolite. That is something that I actually really love that, to be honest, because how freeing is that? All we need to do is we need to figure out how to find it. The next challenge is once we find it, how do we make it? And then once you finish that challenge is how do we get it out there? And how do we expose the rest of the world to Alberta's unique, amazing gemstone in our own province? Okay, so moving on from the production and the visual arts idea, we have mining. And mining, let me tell you. I'm going to turn the microphone off because I'm going to start to get really excited about it. Our company, Alberta Fossil Family, is the first company in the world to actually produce and create a reality TV show at our mine site. And so years ago when we mined, I put cameras in there and I filmed it exactly like Jade Fever or Gold Rush. At the time, my eyes were full of stars and I needed to get Discovery Channel online with us. And of course, they didn't. And they rejected my series on the one premise that they've never heard of Ammolite before. And I said, okay, that's fair. And we posted it on our YouTube channel, and now we're starting to gain traction with it. So please bear with us at the Alberta Ammolite Mining in Alberta series trailer.
But this is where the action is. So what we're doing is you want to look at those piles, because even in that scoop, there could be a chunk of Ammolite. Every single scoop that they take could actually be a fossil, every single time.
There is no experience quite like mining
Really
Ammonite.
really good signs here today. Woo! That's great. means delay. So it's going to cost me more money to, it's brutal. Other than that, you know what, I would have liked to find a lot more fossils by now, that's for sure. Because right now I'm paying to dig dirt. Yeah, friends like this, dude, this is great.
The dirt I'm talking about is 65 million year old ancient scree.
Right now,
So it's not that bad.
That's something, you know, we are out in the middle of nowhere. We were able to find an actual concretion, so this is what we're looking for.
Why did you react like that?
We got stuff.
Sometimes we find nothing inside them. How cruel is
I
that?
don't want to start to freak out and get all low self-esteem that we're not finding anything right now. That's mining. This is the way it goes. Yeah, this is nice. That's very nice. Very nice. You getting this, Jordan? Right on, that's what we're after, Richie. We're doing pretty good so far, Jordan. We're on the right track, guys. Wow. Holy. Wow. Wow. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go. Like it.
So we are the first company to actually produce and create a series where it shows you the entire mining process for ammonites. We do not hide anything. It is my wife and I's goal that we educate about ammonite, ammolite, and we give it away. We honestly do. Our YouTube channel has over 130 videos completely all ammonite related. Where to find it, how to mine it, how to produce it, how to market it, how to talk about it. We will show anything anyone wants. So getting back to the actual mining aspect, there's nothing like it. And you can catch the 83-minute series on our YouTube channel at Alberta Fossil Family. Not only do we do the mining series, we actually went out and we went hunting with our kids. And we filmed it and we posted the locations of those places that we're hunting at. And now, focusing on mining itself, how many ammonite mines exist in the world? Does anyone know? How many diamond mines exist in the world? There are currently between 40 to 60 diamond mines in operation in the world. 40 to 60. There are 3 ammonite mines that supply the entire planet of ammonite. 3 of them. And I want that to sink in. I really do. And if you don't get it from a mine, you're going to get it from surface collecting. And surface collecting for us in this room is really, really important. Not only for us, for our mental health, and to get out to enjoy Alberta's nature that only us can access in our own province, but also the fact that we have access to this and we're actually allowed to go and hunt it. The only reason that you'll be stopped at the border with ammonite or ammolite is that you lack a disposition permit from the Royal Tyrrell Museum. And what that looks like is, so if you have an ammonite chunk, while we're on the mining aspect of ammonite, if you have a chunk, there's no restrictions worldwide to these chunks. They're just like jewelry. Ammonite jewelry, you can take ammonite jewelry and chunks around the world. No restrictions. They will not stop you at the border. They might ask where it came from, how you got it, but they won't stop you because it's not illegal. What is illegal is taking a full fossil out of Canada without the Royal Tyrrell Museum seeing it first. I mentioned that the Royal Tyrrell owns all of the fossils in Alberta. That's correct. And when you surface collect for ammonite, you still don't own it. You still don't own it. The museum owns it, but you become the custodian of it under the Alberta custodian law. So even though you don't own it, you're allowed to keep it for an undetermined period of time. You are the paramedic that rescued it. Because if you left this fossil where you saw it, over time, it will disintegrate and it will disappear. And we have nothing. No one gets anything. And so you pick it up. By picking up that fossil, you save it for future generations. As a custodian, you're allowed to pass it between your family and other custodians in Alberta. But if you want to leave Canada with it, Alberta as well, a full fossil, I would not leave Alberta with it until I show the museum. They take a look at it. They look at every single piece that we mine. Everything that we mine goes to the museum, they look at it, and they release it back to me, because we are not allowed to take anything that's not ammonite out of our site, because that's unique. Because what if we find a dinosaur that no one's ever heard of? What happens? Well, it's going to be called the Fossilsaurus. That's what it's going to be called, the Fossil Datasaurus, for sure, because you're allowed to actually name that. And that's something I love to tell kids. You know, any kid that's interested in fossil hunting, the caveat is that any kid that finds something that's brand new, they get to name it after themselves. And once they find one piece, I guarantee you, they will always want to be outside looking for fossils. The biggest blessing we have is getting our kids outside. It's better that way. It's easier, it's quiet, it's more entertaining, and they learn a lot more by going outside and, of course, looking at Alberta's provincial riches. And so after the mining process, Royal Tyrrell, they look at everything, you've got your disposition, and now what do? You can do whatever you want. Once you have that disposition, it's a one-page piece of paper. Do not be intimidated in the museum. They're awesome. They are awesome. They want to help. In fact, they've never taken one piece from myself in the over 10 years that I've been doing this. The reason is because I didn't change history. They've seen it before. They have tens of thousands of samples. And if I change history, they will take it. And I get credit in the museum for that discovery. But if they don't, then it releases back to me with a disposition permit. Now I can take it around the world. Now I can internationally sell it, locally and abroad. Okay? That's the mining aspect. There's nothing like it. You're in the middle of nowhere. You are being beat by the sun. You are finding 65-million-year-old fossils, and you are the first human to touch them. And I can't emphasize how special and unique that is, that us in Alberta, when we're fossil hunting, you are the first human to have contact with that fossil. If the Ammonite's journey was unique to get there, how unique was your journey to meet that Ammonite when you find it? So literally, tell kids this. It's the best way for them to access their inner superpowers and get out there and know that they can find something that can literally change their lives. And Ammonite does that. Ammonite changes people's lives. It changed my life drastically. And the education that I received was invaluable. The mistakes that I made was a lot. But I have no regrets, because I'm standing here talking to a group of passionate individuals who understand the value of fossils and rocks. And so what an amazing journey. And mining started it all. And if I didn't release the series, who's going to see what we do? And so I challenge and encourage all of you guys to video and to show what you're doing. Post it, get it out there, because if you don't, how can people see what you're producing? Mining is amazing. I have hand dug a 5x5x5 hole, taking me hours. One scoop out of our excavator bucket erases that completely. I was hooked right after that. And I was sitting there spotting, going into the pit and cracking ammonite. If you can visit an ammonite claim, I highly recommend it. We're gonna move on to hunting. Okay, this is where we have a lot of fun. So I'm gonna put on a few hunting videos. These are real hunting videos. No plants, nothing. These are hunting videos of actually going out and finding Alberta Ammolite.
All right, we're outside. Oh, it's so awesome to get outside this late. Here we're in late 2020. I'm on Old Man River in Cottonwood Park in Lethbridge, Alberta.
I tell you where I am.
Just great to be out here. I'm just turning rocks over here, turning fossils over here alongside the river. Basically just looking for tumblers. There's my bear paw screed. We don't climb up there, we don't dig up there, way too dangerous. Look at the size. Look at the size of some of these guys here. You know, those guys tumble down. That's bad news. All right, well, let's keep going here. Right on. Okay. So, you know, literally a needle in a haystack. A lot different experience than at the mine. You know what, here at the mine we're finding concretions here, we're finding tumblers. So, you know what, literally every single piece that you turn over, or don't turn over or walk over.
First time when you go out, you need to flip everything you can over.
But again,
flip it all over.
It's just great to get out here, Alberta. Let's just.
Once you flip the right one, you're going to see those signs, you're going to see the shape, and you're going to start to understand what to look for.
It's always good to be.
Do you recommend the tire?
I'm sorry?
Do you recommend the tire to go in this?
Yeah.
Holy! Whoa! Oh, right on. Oh, look at that. Oh, I'm gonna look at look at this. Well, a little chunk of Ammonite fossil rather, with some beautiful Ammolite on it. Look at that. Wow. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of river walking. Looking for tumblers, essentially.
And we are looking for tumblers, so you're not allowed to dig. And so you're not bringing a shovel and digging in a provincial park. You're going to get a check, for sure. You're looking for tumblers that have been
What you're
exposed
doing is you're just walking
from
the river here.
the wind, air, and elements. And that fossil will tumble down
looking for
and will
color.
bust open into many pieces.
Holy,
Right there.
right on. Holy, wow. Okay, so this guy, undisturbed. I'm just walking along. Look at that. Oh, my hands are shaking. Holy. Look at that, guys. Just as a tumbler now. Generally, you want to look around in this spot.
Lethbridge, yeah. That's still Cottonwood Provincial Park.
Oh gosh,
Yep.
look at that. A little bit of purple on the edge there, and a little bit of green.
There's that, and there's another one that we'll talk about.
Right on. You know what, Alberta? You guys got to get out here. You never know what you're going to find. Holy treasure hunt. Hey guys, it's Fossil Dad. And
At the end of the day, you will not find anything if you're not looking. You won't. And I love to tell kids that. I love to see their bewilderment looking at me. Well, oh, yeah. You do. You need to go out and you need to find it. And what happens is just like fishing. If you go out, you don't catch a fish, so what? You're outside. You're with your family. And the best thing about fossil hunting, I don't allow any phones for my own fossil kids. And so, no phones allowed. The phones are in their pockets. And we're hunting and we're looking for treasure. We're flipping over rocks. And that excitement, the exuberance that one of my kids, when they find something, they know what they've got. They're super excited. They want to be outside. In fact, we're from Calgary and we find seashells in our backyard. So Alberta was covered underwater in the Western Interior Seaway. So we have those resources. But getting back to fossil hunting, there is some amazing stuff that can be achieved with fossil hunting. What if I were to tell you that one of the greatest discoveries in Ammolite was made by a fossil hunter? I really want that to sink in, that there is a fossil hunter named Graham. And this gentleman, he is an explorer, and he's a fossil hunter. He's in Lethbridge. And he fossil hunted for years and years. He went to every single Ammonite-bearing river in Alberta, and he hunted them all. And one day, Graham stumbled on something that changed his life, and unknowingly also changed mine as well. Graham stumbled on blue zone ammonite off of the Old Man River. And I know, to all of us in here, we've probably fossil hunted before, so that doesn't seem that amazing. Jason just showed us a video on Cottonwood about people finding ammonite. But what Graham found was not, how to put it, what Graham found was history changing. Because not only did he find blue zone ammolite and ammonite, he found it in an area that was not claimed. He claimed it. And so from fossil hunting, Graham changed his life. Full spectrum ammonite mine from his fossil hunting find. And I can't stress that enough. And again, giving this information to kids. Can you imagine? Can you imagine in today's society where we are attached to our phones? And if you really look at something like this, this can change your life by finding it. And if you did find it, I would actually show you how to produce it. I don't want to buy it. You keep it. I'll show you what to do with it. Because we want you to have it. We want you to show other people these things. And so what Graham did is he found blue zone ammonite. And this is, not only did he find that, these are some of his gemstones, which you'll be able to take a look at. And so by finding that, he claimed it. And he's mining. We're mining it.
What's it called?
Blue zone, great question. There are two kinds of ammolite. There's K-zone and blue zone. K-zone is typically found higher up. And so surface collecting, below surface, depending 20, 30 feet, depending on where you are, that'll be the K-zone. And K-zone actually used to be the most valuable ammolite in the world. When early years of ammolite, K-zone was classified as the best to work with because it was denser compared to the sheet material that comes out of the blue zone, which at that time no one understood. And as time went on, they understood that the blue zone was more productive and easier to work than the K-zone. And so that separation began. So your K-zone is above and your blue zone is actually below. And so these are all from the blue zone. Typically you can go hunting throughout Alberta and you will find K-zone ammonite. You will. If you're not trespassing on a claim or you've asked for permission, then go ahead and do that. But what you're finding is K-zone. When you're digging deeper, or depending on the location on what river you are, you're going to find blue zone. And blue zone is the most valuable kind of ammolite that's out there today. But beauty is in the eye of the beholder anyway. I feel that there's value to it, no matter what, it's 65 million years old, no matter what, depending on Red Deer versus Bow River, Little Bow River, St. Mary's River, Old Man River, it's all ammolite. It does not matter. What matters is how you see it. What matters is how you as an artist see that. Because you'll produce something that I'll never produce, and I'll produce the same as well. That is the beauty of ammolite. But getting back to Graham, he found this and he claimed it. And so by fossil hunting, this gentleman changed everyone's lives around him by finding that blue zone claiming it, and now we're mining at it. And now we're going to show you a little taste of what Graham and I are up to.
Oh, here it comes. Oh, yeah.
The biggie.
Big one.
Let's get it! Oh my god, man.
Oh my god.
That's good going. Nice big fossil. From the looks of it, full fossil. You can see it comes around here. I'm guessing it comes around here and then back in over here. Very big fossil.
Yeah, man.
Everybody around you can tell you, nope, there are no claims. There's nothing there. And I'll probably tell you the same. But you know what? There was no claims when I found mine.
Okay, there's two places spotters need to watch. We need to watch for color on exposed stuff coming off, and then we need to watch for color coming down on the bottom. You'll actually see the shine come at you. Whoa, 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 right there, go!
You'll see it. You'll actually see that shimmer.
Lots of glue. It deserves it.
Stabilizer, yeah. If we don't glue it, it's 65 million years old.
A little bit of Bob.
Bob is the accelerator we use, Bob Smith Industries. So if you use stabilizer, you're gonna use Bob.
Like ancient?
Like ancient dirt.
Still a good day.
This is it here.
Wow. That is spectacular. Oh, oh my God. Oh.
What do you think of them apples?
I like them apples.
Oh my good God.
Color.
And so you can't see it, but there is blues and purples right underneath the hardened layer of shale. We see that shale, we know that the animal is underneath it. That's a full half of an entire ammonite.
Every single scoop, every time, could actually be a fossil. Best job in the world! Best job in the world!
We're gonna go in and we're gonna clean that, and you're actually gonna see how similar this is to scratching wind, because as you go further, as you clear that mud, you're gonna see all of that color come out.
Oh yeah, look at that.
And of course, we're gonna put some water on it. And so I'm just gently going over here with a black polysynthetic disc. And just lightly cleaning everything. Ancient scratch and win. Okay, so are you ready for this? Okay, so we're gonna put that down, now we're gonna add water.
Oh, I love my job. Take a look at this.
And so that gives you a glimpse of the production aspect. We take the product from the mine and we clean it up. That usually takes hours and hours, by the way. That fossil that I showed you was actually covered in mud, a very thin layer of mud. Not hardened mud, but just mud. I did that on purpose so that we can actually show you in a decent amount of time. The idea of fossil hunting, we know the rules. We know that it's possible. We know where we can go. Provincially, provincial parks, you're allowed to go and you're allowed to surface collect. Do not trespass. Do not trespass. Ask for permission. And if you don't get permission, it wasn't meant to be. What's most important though is the safety aspect of it. And so there's two places that I send people. One is Cottonwood Provincial Park in Lethbridge, Alberta. There's a Tim Hortons 4 minutes away. Doesn't get any better than that. Most places with ammonite or ammolite, you're in the middle of nowhere. The other place that I would send you to would be Travers Provincial Park, Travers Dam. There's ammolite there. Look across the campground. You're looking at screed. You're actually looking at bear paw screed. Okay, so how do we find this? You're thinking to yourself, well, geez, you know what, Fossil Dad? You're talking about ammonite, you're saying we should hunt it, you're saying we're allowed to hunt it, but how can we actually go out and get it? Well, I'm going to tell you, because I posted it. I legitimately posted it. Backstory quickly, a very, very amazing fossil friend named Laura watched our content on YouTube, and she reached out to me. And we help people all the time. We reach out for where to find fossils, how to fix them, and I tell her what I tell everyone, except she's the only one that actually did it. I told her what I would do is I would take Alberta Bear Paw Formation, I would take that map, and then I would take a map of Alberta, and then I would put them over top of each other. That's what I would do. And you know what? She did it. And I released it. And now I'm going to show you how to find ammonites in Alberta. What we're looking for is the Alberta Bear Paw Formation.
Okay, so let's see if we can see some really nice color.
Here's an example of a surface collected ammonite fossil. And so I wanted to show you the example before I actually show you how to access the map for the Alberta Bear Paw Formation.
And we're going to see if it turns into a bigger piece.
And so if you were fossil hunting and you see this,
see if there's any more color.
these are the steps you should take.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. More glue. Let's get more glue on this. And we're gonna let it sit, and we're gonna keep trying. Look at the color. Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Mindat.org. Now, this amazing
Mindat.org.
organization, this website is
That
so
is a
amazing.
mineral mapping.
It's so intuitive.
It is a.
You can click on the map. It shows you.
I will be quiet. You watch this and I'll.
Alberta. Best thing is you can move it around. You can actually adjust the opacity. So what that means is you can overlay the location over top of the formation itself. Now, find a location, open Google Maps.
Using Kehoe Lake as an example, that is the Bear Paw Formation, that is Google Maps.
Once you've got
So I
your
can
location
take that,
information,
I can see where the
you
formation
know
is,
that
I can access
there's
Google Maps,
absolutely color at that
and now I
location.
know where to
All you
go.
need to do is go for a walk, go for an adventure, ask for, be respectful, ask for permission, of course. We're surface collecting. Now, looking at the bigger picture, how big is the Alberta Bear Paw Formation? Now, just remember, we're talking hundreds and hundreds of square kilometers of treasure. Now, take a look. As we get further, this mapping system is so awesome. I'm even still in the Bear Paw Formation, and all those colors represent different formations in Alberta. You know what, guys? Get out there and go treasure hunting.
And so when you go online, type in mindat.org, and you're going to go to their website. It took me 10 minutes to sign up, register for free, and I was looking at the Alberta Bear Paw Formation and every single place where I can find ammonite. That's close, on the same river as where we are. Again, I wanted to make it clear, get out there. And the final message I have to you guys is educate and give this away. How many thousands of years do rock clubs have of education and knowledge inside their clubs? Join rock clubs. And rock clubs, we need to give away our knowledge. The only way we're going to do that is to have the confidence and have the passion to give that and to translate that energy to others. And we want kids, we want to get the young people in here. It is a challenge now to get the younger audience engaged. And how we do that is we get it in front of them. That is the only way. So they're hunting it, they're producing it, and they're making it. That is the only way that we're going to get this gemstone out there. The future is sitting in this room right now with rock clubs. With our passion and energy, we get that message out there. Your memberships will go up because you're offering that education for free. And that's not something that a lot of businesses do, to give that knowledge away. And I would really challenge any rock club association member to give that knowledge, freely give that away, because your payment is seeing that energy and seeing the results of you giving that to them, giving them a new tool in their toolbox. And that gets us outside, that gets us changing history, and most importantly, how amazing fossil hunting is. And so I wanted to thank you very much for listening to my presentation about Ammonite and Ammolite. And if any of you, including the audience online and in here, if anyone has any questions, I will help you out. If you didn't understand any of the videos, if you want me to show or tell you where to go to hunt ammonites, I will. Reach out to me with our YouTube channel or our cards, and I will guide you from there. The last thing I wanted to do, though, is I can't give an ammonite presentation without giving away ammonite. And so inside these bags, you're each going to get one. And inside these bags is a sample of 65 million-year-old bear paw screed. So that is the actual mud that we find at the ammonite sites in Alberta. And I've also included a chunk of ammonite. Now this ammonite chunk is workable ammonite. And so I'm challenging all of you to take these home and to make something from it and wear it. Show people this. This is what we need to do. Remember, if you love something so much, you're going to give it away because you want to spread that to people. You don't want to covet it. You want to give it away. And it's for that reason that every single person in this room will get one of these to take home. We truly believe in this. And so you can help us by subscribing our videos, check out our content, and of course, go outside and go hunting for ammonites in Alberta. Thank you very much.